My name is Jamin Goecker. I'm a local realtor with Keller Williams in South Central Alaska, and my mission is to help you to build an intentional and significant legacy for yourself and your family by coaching you in real estate. And today what we're going to be talking about is how to sell your house fast. Now, this is an issue that it shouldn't really be that difficult in our current market and the beginning of 2022. This is not always going to be the case though. So what I'm going to do is just lay out the basics for what it is that we need to do to make your property sell quickly and conversely for top dollar. And we'll go ahead and be going into that today and answering some of the basic questions surrounding that. But before we get started though, do make sure you give this video a like, do subscribe so you can receive more content like this in the future. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video talking about how to sell your home fast. I get a lot of people who think, hey, do I even want to sell my house fast? You know, I'm worried if we get offers immediately, maybe we weren't asking for enough. So a lot of people I've talked to in the past, they've said, hey, do we want to get an offer fast? And the answer to that is yes, like underline, exclamation point, italicize, bold, all the above. We want an offer fast. And the reason for that is there is no trade-off between putting it on the market and letting it sit there and then eventually getting an offer and getting an offer like in the first 24 hours or so. We want offers quickly, and the reason for that is because the buyers that are going to be coming along in that first day are usually way more motivated than somebody that's going to take 2, 3, 4 weeks to finally get around to going out and seeing your property. You know, I can show you in the stats to where you actually get a lot more for your property within the first week or so, and in this market, like the first couple of days, than you would if you wait. Okay, so there is no trade-off between letting your house sit on the market for a long time and then getting an offer within the first couple of days. You want that offer fast. And another reason you don't want that is not only are those buyers that are going to be coming, you know, after the first couple of weeks going to be less motivated, but they are also going to start smelling blood in the water. They're going to see, hey, you've been on the market for a while. I bet I can start asking for you to come down on your price, and I'll start asking for closing expenses now. And now I want this repair done. I want that repair done. So you really just leave yourself open to a bad negotiating spot when you're on the market for a long time. So make sure you're positioning yourself to be able to sell quickly, because that is exactly how you avoid putting yourself in this awful situation. Okay, so we've established you do want to sell your home quickly. So let's go ahead and go through some of the basics you need to do to make sure that your home actually sells quickly. Now, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that your house is priced to where it needs to be. There is no advantage to overpricing it and selling yourself, oh, well, we'll just come down after the point. I've seen this happen a number of times before where let's say you start out at like 400,000 and it's like, okay, well, I think we're really at like 370, and the seller, I mean, it's ultimately seller's decision. They say, hey, we want to start at 400 and we need to come down, we'll come down. It's like, okay, I'll explain the pros and cons. It's ultimately their decision, but the problem is you start at 400 and now you come down to that point after a month. And at this point, you're old fruit at the grocery store at that point, and where you could have gotten 370 before, now someone's like, they've been on for about over a month at this point. I bet I can get them under 370. So let's try like 360 or something like that. So that's number one. Make sure it's priced to where it needs to be. Number two is you need to make sure that we get our staging kind of on point here. And we're not talking about big, elaborate staging. I'm talking about new light bulbs, you know, new light switch fixtures on everything. We're talking about keeping everything kind of neutral, pulling stuff off the wall. That's like your personal pictures with your family and all that, because we want to invite people in, make them feel invited. They feel like they're invading your personal space if you have all your family pictures up there. So let's try to avoid that. Declutter and take as much decorations and stuff like that you possibly can down. If you have, this is an Alaska problem, if you have a lot of stuffed animals, like I mean a lot, I'm not talking about like one moose hanging over the fireplace kind of thing. I'm talking about just multiple stuffed animals and throw rugs and everything. Like, it looks like you go on like an animal rampage every weekend. Then it's time to take some of those and go put them in storage for a little bit, because it gets to be a little much and it's all people really focus on if you've got all these stuffed animals there. So those are going to be some big staging tips. Let's take a quick break here real quick. For those of you who've been watching for a bit, you know that I do have a market update that I do for every one of the big markets here in the area. That's going to be coming out once a month for your area, and then each week we have a different market that we focus on. If you're even considering getting your home on the market, you need to go check those out just so you have a good sense of what's going on in your immediate market, and those are going to be the most updated numbers that you can get. So do make sure you go take advantage of that. Also, if you're considering making a move in the near future, by all means, do feel free to reach out to me. Be more than happy to send you a copy of my seller guide that's going to walk you through exactly what the process looks like for getting your home on the market, and in a lot of detail. So just reach out to me on my website and put seller guide in the comments section so I know what to send you. Now, let's go and finish today's video. Something else I do want to point out as far as the staging goes, make sure you kind of focus on the olfactory senses as well. You know, a lot of people are very sensitive when it comes to kind of the scents and the aromas in a room, in a building. So every house has got its own scent just from people having lived there. And that's, you know, obviously it just is what it is. It's not good or it's not bad. But again, if you're trying to invite people in, go for more of a neutral kind of smell, like a vanilla or a lavender or something like that. It can be a candle. It can be like a plug-in light fixture or something like that. But you just want it to not smell like you've lived there for years and years. So this is, again, just another part of kind of depersonifying. I'm not sure if that's a word, but trying to make it less reflective of you and more neutral and inviting for someone else to come in and picture themselves being there. So focus on the olfactory and let's get a more neutral scent in there. After that, make sure we've got professional photos. And this day and age, I should not have to keep bringing this up, but I've seen some people lately that have just been using like iPhone pictures or something like that, and it really stands out in a bad way. I've heard a number of buyers that have just been sitting there making fun of these properties that don't have professional pictures. And the thing is, like, that actually would be a good house for them. But the problem is they can't get past the pictures. So yes, they're important. They're only $180, $250, and they're worth every penny. So yes, get professional pictures. The next thing that we do is we do actually provide 360 video for the property as well. Now, if you don't know what 360 video is, that is where it's a video right here in front of you, but the camera is capturing all the footage all the way around it, 360 degrees. Now, this is great because then they can take the phone or the computer, they can just, click on it and then redirect anywhere in the room they're trying to look around. They've got an Oculus headset on. They can actually look in any direction and they are there. They're right there in the room. That's exactly what it feels like. And we want to do that because we miss out on a lot of people who aren't in this immediate area and that market if we don't have that 360 video. So we have it, makes it a lot more inviting for them and makes it a lot easier even for people who are across town to look at the inside of the house, look in any direction that they want to, and they're way more likely to accept what it is that you're going to be, the pictures that you're giving them are gospel, because they can look in any direction and verify it themselves. And there's definitely a much better sense that they're getting the full picture and they're not just seeing some good pictures taken at good angles with good lighting. So that's 360 video is here to stay, and it's going to become a lot more prevalent moving forward. So let's get ahead of it. Now, the next thing that we want to do is make sure that we put your property in coming soon status. Now, what coming soon means is that you're not on the market yet. You're not ready to just throw open the door and say, everybody come in, make your offers, all the good stuff. So what coming soon is it says, hey, we can market it. We're on the MLS. People can see it. They can see pictures of it. They can't physically come and look at it yet. So that's what coming soon is. And by the time you go active, we can be in coming soon for 15 days. So once you go active, you will be riding about 2 weeks worth of marketing momentum going into it. So that's why we do coming soon. Now, that first day we go onto the market is important. Usually we'll try to host some kind of open house, either myself or somebody else that I do work with who really loves open houses, and make sure that we can do it at a high level. And we do it on the first day just because that's when we're going to have our best opportunity to actually get your property sold right then and there. So that's why we do it that way. And last but not least, when we do the open house and it's kind of that first weekend that we go onto the market, we always recommend, hey, why don't you guys go ahead and go down to Seward or go somewhere for the weekend, just so we can show this thing nonstop. So hopefully we can just get offers in there, within the first couple of days, and then work it out at that point. So you're only having to spend a couple of days just on vacation essentially down Seward or somewhere, and you're not having to shuffle around all the time, especially if you have a family that becomes a lot. You're not having to shuffle a family around too much, and just 1 or 2 days where it's completely vacant and get an offer, and that's it. So that would be the ideal scenario. Doesn't work for everybody, but it's great when it does. These have been your tips for how to sell your home fast. I sure hope they were useful. If they have, make sure you give this video a like, leave me a comment down below. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you do have any questions that I can help you with as you're looking to get your property ready for the market, feel free to reach out to me at the website down below, and just make sure you put in the comment section how I can help you, and be happy to assist as best I can, or reach out to me on Facebook or my Instagram. Again, those are going to be down below. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.